Good morning and welcome to Rise and Shine Manitoba with Luna Brigid. I'm sorry we're a bit late. I don't know what happened. Apparently, I slept wrong last night. So I woke up and there was like a massive kink in my neck. But that's the thing about live TV. When life happens, you just got to roll with the punches. And if you're 10 minutes late, well, that's no problem. It's all good. So thank you for your patience, and we are ready to go. We have an amazing and exciting show planned, and I'm excited. So let's get started. So wherever you are, please raise your coffee mugs and cheers with me as I say, Rise and Shine Manitoba. Welcome back to Rise and Shine Manitoba with Luna Brigid. So we have an exciting show planned for you today. So as I alluded, I think in our first episode, I am a huge mental health advocate. And I also mentioned on a previous Women in Business episode that a long time ago, I dealt with my own struggle. I dealt with anorexia when I was about 19, so a long time ago, but still, I dealt with it. We're all human. We all deal with stuff. If you haven't, then you're lying to yourself. So tying in with that is kind of what I guess connected my love of kids and my love of teaching, just because I've always been an empath. And I just felt that if more humans and if more teachers and if more people were kind and compassionate, well, this would be a much happier place. And so, yeah, so that's kind of why I went on that train, why I went into teaching, why I'm so passionate about mental health, because just of a massive love and respect for people, and to try to make this world as happy and best as much of a happy and good place as it can be. So tying in with that, I am so excited for our first segment. We have Mr. Dakota Johnson with Teacher Talk. I am so excited. So after this very quick commercial break, we're going to have Dakota Johnson on. So Rise and Shine Manitoba, we'll be right back after this quick break.
Why go solar? It's not just for the environment, although that is a great reason. Did you know that when you install your new solar plant, you are only paying 7 cents per kilowatt? That's right, 7 cents! Solar is now cheaper than buying electricity, 25% cheaper than buying it from Manitoba Hydro. Going solar is different from any other investment you will make in your life, as you will retain the value on your roof. Solar does not depreciate like other investments do, and unlike a GIC, your investment will start paying you from day one. And when you choose to sell your home, well, you will get the cost of the solar back, as this investment rarely depreciates. When choosing solar, look for high-end products like microinverters with 10 to 25-year warranties. Make sure your installation is done by a professional. We are Evolve Green, and we are celebrating 12 years in the industry and can help you put your roof to work for you. Ask also about your options like battery backup for when the grid fails, and how about solar heaters to get rid of snow buildup. Are you a farm or a business? Did you know that your solar is a 100% tax write-off? Yes, that's right. You can write off all the cost for the solar in the year you purchased it. This is a perfect investment for any business. In Manitoba, the portion a resident customer sells to Hydro is also a tax write-off in the first year. Farms pay no PST on solar systems. We build, design, and supply the best in solar power for both on and off the grid. For experts you can trust, call or email Evolve Green today. 1-866-5-EVOLVE or support@evolvegreen.ca.
Welcome back to Rise and Shine Manitoba with Luna Brigid. I am so pumped for our next segment. It is going to be Teacher Talk. And today we have Mr. Dakota Johnson. So hello, Dakota, and thank you so much for coming in today.
Hi there. No problem. Happy to be here.
Wonderful. So how are you doing this morning?
Great day.
Awesome. So you're obviously a teacher, which is why we're doing teacher talk. So
That's true.
Which topics or subjects do you teach?
I mostly teach grade 7. I teach grade 7 English language arts, and grade 7 social studies are what I'm teaching this year. So, and I work at a rural school, so lots of fun opportunities to kind of include a lot of the little nuances of the.
Welcome back to Rise and Shine Manitoba with Luna Brigid. I am so pumped for our next segment. It is going to be teacher talk. And today we have Mr. Dakota Johnson. So hello, Dakota, and thank you so much for coming in today.
Hi there. No problem. Happy to be here.
Wonderful. So how are you doing this morning?
Great day.
Awesome. So you're obviously a teacher, which is why we're doing teacher talk. So
That's true.
Which topics or subjects do you teach?
I mostly teach grade 7. I teach grade 7 English language arts, and grade 7 social studies are what I'm teaching this year. So, and I work at a rural school, so lots of fun opportunities to kind of include a lot of the little nuances of the rural life into those subjects. So that's pretty cool.
No, I love that, especially, well, I love English too. So as an English person, I love that. And then as a rural aspect, I like that too, because no matter which town it is, every town has its small town roots, and those just seem deeply woven and ingrained into the community. So no, I love that. So I guess connecting to just uniqueness, what inspired you to become a teacher?
Oh man, that was in high school. I was really inspired to become a teacher for a couple reasons. One of which was I found out I really enjoyed working with kids, working even with teenagers as a teenager myself, but just like working on projects, working towards helping them learn new skills. When working at summer camp and teaching things, working with the drama productions, and then helping people learn lines during drama productions, things like that. I just really enjoyed. So teaching just kind of came naturally, and I kind of jumped on that.
Well, I love that. Well, and as a fellow, I guess I have my degree, but I'm currently doing this for a living. But as a fellow teaching human myself, I absolutely love that. I think that teachers are so undervalued in our society. We do so much because essentially it's shaping the next generation, and that is, in my try to be a biased opinion, one of the most important jobs and undervalued assets is molding and shaping and guiding our next generation. So thank you. I love that.
Thank you.
Well, you're very welcome. So I guess this year in teaching, definitely quite the interesting situation. So first of all, congratulations. For the viewers that don't know, we were both in the same graduating class. So congratulations for graduating. So
congratulations to you as well.
Thank you. So with that new life that you just got on a piece of paper, and then the massive explosion that happened with COVID, how has it been being a new teacher on COVID?
Well, my final student teaching placement was obviously cut short due to COVID, which was very unfortunate. But I think we ended up doing the best we could with the circumstances, came out of it with some good resources. But going into my first full-time teaching job and having it be COVID, a lot of the skills that I naturally possess and a lot of the focuses that I went to school to kind of hone there are almost useless this year, or they're really different. So, I went to school to be a drama teacher. That's kind of my goal there. And whenever I teach, I try and pull in some aspects of theater into the teaching practices, games, different activities, a lot of hands-on stuff, a lot of role play. And COVID has really stopped a lot of that social interaction aspect. So really hard to do things like group work, even to do skits and plays. A lot of the games that we'd normally play in English to work on like speaking skills and things like that we can't really do that I normally would have. So I've had to tone that back a lot, and so there's a lot of students staying in their seats and trying to do games from there, working with like the person that sits next to you as best you can with that social distance and the masks and stuff like that. So it's been really limiting. I think we've done a pretty good job. It's been great. Everyone I've worked with at the school is super supportive. They've got great ideas. We've made it work. I think it's been a pretty good year. The students are really engaged, and I've had very few issues even getting students to follow like sanitizing hands, wearing masks. Like they've been really good with it, but it is limiting kind of the things that we would normally do. And it's tough because a lot of the times you see the kids are struggling or they're bored, right? Because they've been sitting in a desk reading a book and watching a slideshow for the past 3 weeks. Can we do something fun? And those options are very, very limited. So as much as we've made it work, I am very much looking forward to the day where we can go back to doing some of those fun things in education. But yeah, it's a little difficult, but you know what, we've done really well. The kids are still in high spirits. They're getting spring break right now, so they're really they're going to get some well-needed time off. So
100%. And seriously, thank you for still providing as much drama and theater and excitement as you possibly can while having to wear a mask, because that in and of itself, wearing a mask is drastically affecting the way kids live their lives and go to school. And so thank you for still bringing as much joy as you can to these situations out of our control. So we only have one more time for one last question, and then it's project time's up for the morning. But our last question, kind of connecting to what you talked about, because this year has been such a big change, what's, I guess, the biggest lesson you've learned as a teacher teaching throughout this COVID process?
Well, that's a great question. And trying to pick one thing that you've really learned or picked up, because there's so many things. But I think to sum up all the skills and all the different techniques and different things that I've learned would be that, especially as being a teacher, you have to be adaptable. And we already knew that. I mean, you're going to get different kids every year. You never teach the exact same student twice, right? Like every person is an individual. So you always have to be willing to adapt to what they need or what they're interested in. You have to be willing to change your lesson plans when things aren't working. But this year specifically, you just have to be adaptable. And you have to have patience more than anything, because like I said, there's some techniques we just can't use, some things that might help certain students that you're not able to do. So just having that patience and understanding and adaptability with yourself and the students and the class materials just is a big bonus, because if you're not able to adapt to the constantly changing regulations and needs of the students, then yeah, you're not going to have a good year. So it's just kind of taking that general teaching principle of be adaptable, know your class, and just taking it to a whole new level that we've never had to take it to before.
No, that is some great advice. And that actually perfectly ties in with the theme we've been discussing these past couple of weeks, is being adaptable, because you're right. No, nothing in this COVID situation is in our control. We basically have to just ride the wave and follow the procedures and just let go of what we can't control. So you're right, being adaptable is a fabulous skill to learn and to have. So thank you. I will take that in my memory bank. So great advice. And thank you for sharing, Dakota. You've been a wonderful blessing to have on the show. And yeah, thanks for coming in, and you have a wonderful Monday. Wonderful Monday morning. That's what I meant to say.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. It was great.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, so please stick around. Don't go away. We're going to have so many other amazing new segments coming up after the break. So Rise and Shine Manitoba with Luna Brigid. I'll be right back after this.
I think Systems Beauty College is a little bit unique in respect to the way we teach our program. We don't do so much structure and learning and block teaching. Everybody can move along at the pace that suits them. Everybody can move along at the pace that suits them. If they can move faster, they do so. therefore learning everything earlier and getting more practice in all segments of hairstyling as opposed to just being stuck in one section for a certain period of time. So we try to accommodate all the different learning styles.
Welcome back to Rise and Shine Manitoba with Luna Brigid. So, sorry about the little technical glitch. We're on live TV, and the running joke is, we can do time travel here. So, for professionals like teachers that, just can't necessarily come on the show at 10 a.m., we can just time travel and do it at an earlier time. That's the running joke. But yeah, no, technical glitches, we're on live TV. So, yeah, sorry about the little 30-second repeat at the beginning. So as we talked about before the break, we had Dakota Johnson for Teacher Talk. That was so much fun. I loved it. I love when I can incorporate my passion for teaching in with this job I'm doing now and talking to you fine people. So I love that. So our next segment, you might recognize his smiling face. It's Harry Siemens with the Farm Report, brought to you by Wolf Enterprise. Good morning, Harry. And how are you doing on this Monday morning?
I am doing great. The thing that people that haven't normally been on television before, when you see you're in the show, everyone can see and hear you. Wow, now it's your time, right? And but adaptability has been a part of my life. It's a part of the farmer's life, and you know what? It's a part of the farmer's career and profession and whatever else you want to call it. Adaptability is so keen.
Oh, 100%. And I feel like we've kind of been discussing that and kind of been theming that for these past couple weeks. And I think with farming, you're right. Farmers have to adapt. And then with COVID right now, we all have to adapt because, like I said, we have to ride the wave. We can't control what's happening. So yes, I love how everything's just kind of connected. And on that hue of adapting, we're in spring, and spring is the time for change, renewal, new beginnings. Unfortunately, though, this spring, it's been a very dry spring. There hasn't been much rain, and with all the snow melted, how have the farmers been adapting to this dry weather?
Well, some farmers just simply wait it out. Some farmers simply say, you know what, we never lose a crop in March, April, or even May. It's once we get into real trouble in June. But right now, Jim Palliser at Palliser Farms at Portage la Prairie, he put in 2,500 acres of wheat last week, wow. I should say. And simply because the conditions were right, it's dry. And so, he'll wait for the rain. And of course, the forecast is now telling us maybe we'll get some snow. And I'm hoping absolutely they are true, and that's what we're hoping to see. But, as Jim Palliser said, it wasn't a show thing. It was a management thing. And so he put in his crop, and I'm sure they're still going. And then he'll hope and wait and pray for rain. And
let's hope he gets it.
Yeah, and that's all part of how farmers adapt. It's a matter of using their skills, their experience, using help from people that know more about some of these things. They study them, but at the same time, you know what? You then when the time is here, you plant. You always, my dad farmed 55 years. I think he had one crop failure, and that was when we had too much moisture in June. So it always seems to work out.
That's good. So I guess on the theme of adapting, if the soil is too dry to prepare the fields, are there any fertilizers or other soil softeners that can help the earth a little bit?
Well, you know what? They basically put in the normal fertilizer. Like for Mr. Palliser, in his case, the soil was absolutely the right texture for planting. So, when it gets too dry, then of course you have to wait a little longer. But I don't think we have that kind of soil here in Manitoba. So they basically go with the normal fertilizer, normal cultivation, normal practices that they are used to.
Okay. So I guess then all we can really do is hope and pray for rain, which honestly, like that actually reminds me. I was young. I was 4, but I have a good memory. I remember. I think the exact date was April 5th, 97. I remember we had that random freak snowstorm. I was annoyed because I was like, my birthday's at the end of April and I might have snow for my birthday. I was a kid. I was annoyed. But then I remember I quickly turned to laughter because we had so much snow when we had to let out our dog to, do her thing in the backyard. We put her in the snow and it was just like, she just sunk. She just sunk right in. So,
yeah.
So I guess that's a pretty big contrast, eh? Like 24 years.
That's right. Wow. Yes, you know what? And when we look back at 1997, it was the flood of the century, right? First of all, we had lots and lots and lots of snow, and it didn't melt like we had this year. And finally, at the end of April or thereabouts, that's when we got wet snow on top of all the snow that was still out there. And it just melted so fast. And I was doing television at the time. I was hosting the Manitoba Farm Report on television. So I had the privilege of going up in the airplane, and I had the privilege of being in a boat, and I had the privilege of working at it from within. And so, so it was quite a thing, you know what? And the most remarkable thing, we had the flood of the century, and I don't think we lost one life during that whole time. And a lot of people had to relocate. I mean, I was part of a church that where half the people lost their homes in that particular church at Helpstadt, Manitoba. And, and yet the provincial government at the time, they were able to develop a program that helped so many of these people, or all of the people, back. And, there's a positive to that. The flood of the century in 1997, yes, it was hard, but nobody lost their lives. We learned from that. And the people that were in low-lying areas, they either had to build a dike or they had to move out of there or build up so high so that they would never be affected by that flood of the century again. So all good.
Yeah, no kidding. And I think the only remotely close to worst flood we've had was June of 2011. Was the one we had in Brandon where like we had that massive rain, because similar story. That was my graduating high school year, and I did my project for my elective ELA class. It was a videography ELA class, and I did my final project on the flood. So similar to you, it was actually kind of ironic in that way. Similar to you, I filmed it, and that was my final project. So luckily, thank you. So luckily, we haven't had too many nasty floods since then. But for the remaining time, just because we are getting low on time here, you mentioned to me on an earlier show that used to be a farmer about 30 years ago. So in doing that, what was the greatest life lesson you learned through being a farmer?
Being a farmer was, I worked together with my father and brother. And my father was an awesome farmer, a caring farmer, but a on the edge farmer. And he taught me so many things. And he actually was responsible for getting me into farm journalism, because farming wasn't so good when I came back from university in 1971. And there was an advertisement at CFAM Altona. I had not even thought of going into farm broadcasting. And Dad says there's a job. I applied, and a month later I was in the studio. And that's 50 years ago, my friend. 50 years ago when I started out as a farm journalist. So what's my takeaway? My dad was an awesome farmer. I had to make sure, and Dad didn't understand English that well. So I had to make sure that if I'm broadcasting, I had to make sure my father could understand. And forever on, as a professional speaker, I always spoke so that my dad could understand, even though he's been gone since 1984.
Oh, well, rest in peace to your father. And And thank you, Harry. I am so thankful for you. You always just brighten up our morning, and you give us a wealth of knowledge. And so thank you so much for sharing. And we will see you again next Monday.
Absolutely. And take care.
Thanks, you too. Bye-bye. Alrighty, so that was an amazing segment from Harry Siemens. And so after this quick commercial break, Rise and Shine Manitoba with Luna Brigid. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Rise and Shine Manitoba with Luna Brigid. So we are looking for advertisers to partner with us on our shows. So obviously I host Rise and Shine Manitoba, as well as Women in Business, as well as we have so many other shows through ASTV. And as I mentioned last week, ASTV and MBNS TV are combining into just one name, ASTV, to make things simpler and easier for everybody. So if you would like to take part in this crazy, fun experience, please let me know. You will have the benefit of knowing that this crazy, strange, quirky, but honest blonde on the advertising end is also the strange, quirky, also, yeah, odd blonde who's going to be promoting it on the air. And so if you want to have fun and join us on either of my two shows or any of ASTV's other shows, please let me or us know. So please don't go away. After the break, we are going to have Trish from the Bloombox, and it's spring. Let's bring some joy and color and flowers into our life. So please stick around. Don't go anywhere. Trish will be here right after the break from the Bloombox. Welcome back to Rise and Shine Manitoba with Luna Brigid. I am so excited. Up next, we have Trish from the Bloombox.
Hello.
Hello. Good morning, Trish. It looks beautiful over there. I see lots of pinks and purples. I love it.
Well, it's spring colors, so there's. I decided I needed to have some visual aids while we were talking, and spring's a good time for that because there's a ton of colors that are available at this time of year.
Love it. So welcome to Rise and Shine Manitoba. Thank you so much for coming this morning.
Welcome.
So where is the Bloombox and what are its hours of operation?
Okay, well, the Bloombox is located at 535 Princess in Brandon, Manitoba, and that is going to change.
Oh,
and that is what one of the things we are going to talk about here shortly. But for right now and for the past 20 years, we're at 535 Princess, downtown Brandon, and it has been a flower shop on this corner for over 30 years in this city, actually, through various owners and stuff, but it has been here for 30 years. Yeah. So a little bit more about that move. I know it ties into another one of our questions, but we are going to be moving in June or July to the green.
Oh, nice. So it's going to be a pretty big change for you. So I guess speaking of changes, what inspired you to have a love for flowers and open up your own shop to begin with 30 years ago?
Well, it's one of those short story long story short type things. But my grandmother got me interested in gardening at a very, very young age, and I was part of the Horticultural Society's Junior Gardeners program. My first after-school job was at Foster's Floral Fashions on 10th Street a million years ago, and I have kind of been in flowers since I was 15 years old, actually. So this is actually almost my 30th year doing what I do.
Aww.
Yeah.
I love that.
So
I was born in spring, so the spring birthday person in me appreciates that you are a lover of spring and flowers as well. That's beautiful.
Well, and I, like I said, it's been in me and in my family for a long time, and it just sort of became a natural thing. And I've worked in this store for probably, it's been like close to 20 some years now.
Wow. Good.
Yeah. So
dedication and heart.
It's a soul thing. It's an artist thing. Yeah. Yeah,
well,
definitely.
Well, honestly, I've just found that no matter what your profession is, if you aren't passionate about what you do, it's miserable. But if you are passionate about it, then it doesn't feel like work. It just feels like your life. And that's
exactly. Yeah. You don't work a day in your life when you love what you do. And I'm very, very fortunate that I have been able to do what I do for as many years as I have, and very thankful that, during this pandemic time that we are still a viable, good business, and that our business was shaped sort of to deal with that whole situation to begin with. And I'm happy to still be slinging flowers for the city of Brandon. You betcha.
Love it. Well, speaking of which, just to keep prompting this, because I always will, check out more, check out the link below at the Bloombox online. So I guess speaking of, pardon?
That's shopping, bloomboxonline.com. So if you want to buy something, that's where you want to go. But I do want to point out while you're booping on the URL there that if you want to see what we really, really do for design work, I encourage you to check out our Facebook or our Instagram, because that really showcases us as a flower shop for sure.
And you said that was at
I have Insta Bloombox is our Instagram account, and then we also have a Facebook account under the Bloombox in Brandon, and they're pretty easy to find. But that's where I post most of the pictures of these cool things that we spin out that are original to the shop.
Love it. Love it. So I guess that kind of connects with another question I had for you. What are some current fresh flowers of the week? I see some beautiful flowers already in front of you.
Exactly, and that's why I chose these ones. I thought I'd better choose some things that are springy to show off. The it flowers, like this little baby right here, this peony right up front. Here we go. Wow, like peonies. Everybody loves peonies. Garden flowers. We got anemones. There's roses. I've got tulips. I've got hyacinth. All the pretty smelly things. There's some pussy willow stalks in there. Lots of beautiful things.
I love your visual eye, like the way the colors complement and contrast and the juxtaposition. I love your visual color eye, because that is so important in any creative field. So I would love to keep chatting. We have one more question before our time is up, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So connecting to our last question, what are some current Bloombox promotions for spring?
Okay, so we don't really do promotions so much, but I did want to run through really quick all of the holiday stuff that is part of spring, because those dates tend to really creep up on people. So we have April 4th coming up is Easter. So that's like this coming weekend, people. Okay. And most of us flower shops close down over the weekends. I didn't mention that in the first little bit. Currently, we're only Monday to Friday here. And this Friday is Good Friday, so we'll be closed. So if you want to order Easter flowers, then it's best to get on that right away on Monday, because we only got 4 days left until that comes along. Then April the 19th to the 24th is Administrative Professionals Week, one that just about everybody forgets about. So if you have one of those admins that's been a lifesaver during this whole thing with going home to work or even still at the office, booking that early would be a good idea. Then that runs, like I said, the 19th to the 24th, and the actual day is the 21st. And then Mother's Day is May 9th, and we've been told by many people that pre-booking this year is going to be pretty much necessary if you want some flowers from Mom, because we've had a lot of disruption in our supply lines because of bad weather in South America and stuff. So May 9th is Mother's Day, so get booking on that before the end of April if you can. So that's sort of what I'd like to promote, is everybody booking their stuff early for all of these important holidays that are coming up.
Because you also get a first selection of flowers, and you get to kind of basically pick and choose what you want. So viewers, April 4th is coming up very quickly, Easter, and you said April 19th to 24th is our appreciation for our admin. And of course, Mother's Day for all of us fabulous mothers out there. Please give something for your moms. We do so much. So
yes, and pre-book it, because like I said, we're there's bad weather down south where a lot of our flowers come from, and our wholesalers are telling us that there will be shortages. So some people might get left out in the flower cold if you don't actually pre-book this year. So everybody call me.
Yes, call Trish and check out all of her other wonderful flowers at Bloombox on Instagram. You can also find her on Facebook as well. Look at her beautiful creations. You can't not look at them and not smile and be happy. So the Bloombox, see Trish, see the smiley, bubbly face, and she will happily assist you in all of your flower needs. So thank you so much, Trish. You've been an absolute delight. I hope to talk to you again sometime soon.
You betcha.
And you have a wonderful day and enjoy the beautiful smelling flowers.
Well, I'm just going to sit here and smell the flowers. That's okay.
Literally. See ya. Bye. So thank you again, Trish. That was honestly so much fun. I love flowers. I love spring, and you were such a joy and delight to have. So we're just going to prompt this one more time. Whenever you have any flower needs, or you just want to brighten up your day and see some beautiful bouquets, check out Bloombox on Instagram, hence the name. And she is also on Facebook as well. So please check Trish out at the Bloombox for all of your flower related needs. So we have so much more to come. We're going to take a quick commercial break, but Rise and Shine Manitoba with Luna Brigid will be right back after this quick commercial break.
Why go solar? Solar is better than ever. Our revolutionary design and inverter equipment with the latest in solar panel technology for the ultimate in-home and business security. That's right, I said security. Grid security and security of your home are linked. Fortify your future today with a battery backup system. No maintenance, quiet running. Did you know in Manitoba, grid-connected, off-grid, and battery backup systems are 100% right off in the year you purchase for any company or farm? Do you want to back up your internet, keep your tills running, and the lights on? We can install a system that is right for you with battery backup fully capable of taking on all those essential loads and keeping you running. When you call our experts at Evolve Green, ask about getting your free energy audit today. Call or email today to find out what system works best for you. 1-866-5EVOLVE or support@evolvegreen.ca. Also, be sure to check out our website at www.evolvegreen.ca.
Welcome back to Rise and Shine Manitoba with Luna Brigid. So thank you so much for all of our wonderful guests today. Dakota Johnson for our teacher talk. I can't wait to do that again. Harry Siemens from the Farm Report, brought to you by Wolf Enterprises. And last but certainly not least, thank you to Trish from the Bloombox. So we have some announcements. We are not, unfortunately, due to situations out of our control, the Farmhouse 50 will not be on our Shop Local program. However, we are still looking for individuals for that Shop Local program. So essentially what that program is that we want to help support small businesses and small towns. We want to spotlight the town, all of the wonderful businesses and people and community within that town and all of its wonderful treasures that make the town unique. Like I said to Dakota this morning, small towns have roots, and we want to highlight those small towns and those small routes. So if you are part of a small town, or if you know of a small town, please let us know, because we would love to spotlight it. As well as we are also going to have our health and beauty segment by Pure Anada Cosmetics. I can't gush over them enough. I love that company so much. We are going to have Cindy Grenier, Real Estate's Property of the Month, showcased from our Real Answers in Real Estate TV show on Thursday nights, as well as our health and wellness segment from Pembina Valley Physiotherapy and Sports Injury Center. We have so many other exciting segments to come. So mark in your calendars every Mondays at 10 a.m. I know we were late, but we can blame the net because I must have slept really bad last night. I'm sorry. That's okay. Life happens. And remember, if you own a business and you would like to take part in this crazy fun journey that we have on these shows or on any of our other ASTV shows, please let me know. I would love to represent you on both the advertising end and the TV end and help make your business flourish. So please let me know. So wherever you are as we sign off, please raise your coffee mugs. That was a little bit tilted. There we go. There we go. Raise the coffee mugs. There we go. And cheers with me as I say, rise and shine, Manitoba. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a wonderful day and stay safe. Bye-bye.
Big Systems Beauty College is a little bit unique in respect to the way we teach our program. We don't do so much structure and learning and block teaching. Everybody can move along at the pace that suits them.
Well, it's a combination of being both independent and dependent, which I like because you have a little bit of both, and it makes it fun because you can go on your own and create new styles and whatnot. And yeah.